Warning! The cards you're about to see are previews and are in no way indicative of the final version. All cards are still subject to change. Hello and welcome back to another BattleCON Trials of Indine's character preview, featuring Cindra, risen from the ashes. A heroine imbued with the powers of a phoenix, Cindra starts off as a very versatile ranger. However, after dropping a certain amount of life, she turns into a powerhouse character who can obliterate her opponent in 3 hits. However, while in this form, she slowly loses life, eventually leading to her own demise. Cindra's game plan revolves around her unique ability, Rebirth, which says that upon reaching 10 life, she has to swap out her styles for her appropriate Phoenix styles. While in the Phoenix form, Cindra gains a lot of defense and her styles become big powerhouse effects. This essentially means that Cindra is 2 characters in one, a versatile ranger and a powerhouse fighter. Let's look at each of these characters one by one. While in human form, Cindra is a versatile ranger who wants to maintain her life total and avoid going into Phoenix mode as much as possible, because the best Cindra games have Cindra never needing Phoenix mode. Therefore, as human, it's your job to extend your life lead as much as possible. And so Cindra wants to create as much range as possible, and this is done using her soaring as well as her cinder styles. Both of these allow her to create some distance, with Cinder punishing people who try to close the gap afterwards, and Soaring just being a very big gap creator. Now once Cindra's at range 3 and above, she needs to find a way to whittle her opponent's health down, because she needs them to be as low as possible for when she goes into Phoenix. And this is where styles like Ashen and Phoenix come in. Ashen allows Cindra to make opponents auto-miss at that range, which is quite good because she wants to maintain her life total. On the other hand, Phoenix punishes people for trying to get in. If they want to get into Cindra's face, they're gonna have to pay a lot of life for it, which again plays into her game plan of making the opponent as low as possible. However, that's not to say that Cindra isn't versatile. She has access to Rising as well, which is a very versatile style that works in melee and range, while also providing Cindra with some priority, which she so desperately needs. Once Cindra drops down below 10 health, she turns into her Phoenix form, which has Soak but loses life every beat. This means that although she does gain a lot of stats, Cindra ends up killing herself over time. This means that she needs to kill her opponent quickly or find ways to extend her life in order to win the game. Extending her life is one of the more important things about this, because opponents can find many ways to make your attacks miss. This is where styles like Kindled as well as Smoldering come in, as they either mitigate your opponent's damage or make your opponent miss completely. Both of these essentially translate to give Cindra more time. And it's very important that Cindra have a lot of time on her hands, because while in Phoenix form she does deal a lot of damage, she's really slow and her hit confirm can be dubious at times. Therefore, it's very important for Cindra to set up the kill. Given that she's quite the slow character, opponents usually have free reign to move into whatever space they want using their movement effects. Therefore, it's very important for Cindra to have them at the correct range to make her styles hit. This is where styles like Ember and Luminary come in, as both of these allow you to push the opponent away or pull the opponent closer, which can be very powerful for putting the opponent at the correct range to get destroyed by her most powerful style. Perilous is that powerful style, which allows Cindra to deal a ton of damage with just one attack, hopefully killing most opponents that are not prepared for it. Perilous becomes the crux of what Cindra is in Phoenix mode. She has some dubious hit confirm, but will absolutely destroy you if you're not prepared. And finally, both of her forms benefit a lot from her unique base wings, as this not only has decent defense and hit confirm, but also gains her life. In human form, this is really good because it prevents you from going into Phoenix as much as possible. And going into Phoenix, as we've established, is really not the thing you want to happen. You want to delay Phoenix as much as possible to get your opponent as low as possible, so that going into Phoenix results in a one-shot kill. On the other hand, if you're already in Phoenix, Wings allows you to heal up and give you more time to possibly one-shot kill that opponent anyway. Now, Cindra's two overdrive finishers, Cinderstorm and Blazing Pyre, are very good in certain situations. Given that you have to be generally low health to access your finishers, you'll usually be in Phoenix mode, which means that both of these overdrives are quite good because they're both really fast. Cinderstorm allows you to set up for the kill next beat. Hopefully, your opponent doesn't have enough priority to outspeed you at this point. And of course, Blazing Pyre allows Cindra to regain some life, hopefully extending the amount of time she has left in order to kill her opponent. Cindra is what we would usually call a stance switcher, which means that she switches between two forms. However, unlike many of the other stance switchers who switch between the two forms regularly, much like Dravel and Kalistar, Cindra stays in whatever form she transforms into. This means that once she goes Phoenix, there's no going back. This is a very interesting playstyle from my perspective, because although her Phoenix form is quite powerful, it's quite clunky as well. And her human form, though not clunky, is not really powerful. This means that you actually can spend the majority of the beginning early game dodging opponents, hitting them with finesse and whatever, and when it's the late game and your guys are just trying to kill each other, you can then revert to your Phoenix form by losing enough life and then one-shot killing opponents. And that pretty much does it for this BattleCON Trials of Indine's character preview, featuring Cindra, Risen from the Flames, sponsored by Level 99 Games. If you guys like the character and find her very interesting and want to just play a big Phoenix transforming character, I do suggest that you guys check out the description down below for the Kickstarter link, because you can still back it. However, if you don't want to do that, you can also easily click this annotation. If you guys want to achieve more of the stretch goals and have more characters added to the cast, I really do recommend checking those links out. BattleCON is a really fun game, and if you guys liked anything about this video, do consider backing the project. Without much else to say, thanks for watching, and good night!